Coming up.
You're kind of haunted by this every waking moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
My daughter was standing up observing me. Mr. Ward comes barreling down.
I didn't run over anybody, okay? I just nicked her and she fell.
He initially hit me on my left leg, which shattered my kneecap, tore my ACL.
You're asking this court for $550,000.
I have a pre-existing condition.
Spondylolisthesis.
Is that even a thing?
One thing that we don't do in this courtroom is to belittle someone else's reality. Well, let's get into the legal sauce. Now, father and daughter golfing, how does that happen?
Well, Your Honor, I've been a golfer all my life. I really enjoy the game. It's one of my favorite pastimes. All growing up, I tried to get Lindsay to come with me on the golf course, but it just wasn't what she wanted to do on her Saturdays or Fridays. So I was really shocked and surprised when she came to me recently and said, "Daddy, I'd like to have you teach me how to play golf." I mean, this was a thrill. So I planned the whole day. We got some tea times down. We had breakfast. We were planning a lunch, and this was a really special day for Lindsay and I.
So what did it mean to you, Miss Lindsay?
Well, I just recently graduated college, Your Honor, and I got a wonderful opportunity to work with this insurance company, and I know many of the offers and deals are made on the golf course, and I didn't want to be left out because I didn't know how to play, or heaven forbid, because I'm a woman, so I thought, why not have one of the best teachers, my dad, teach me how to play golf, so I took up that opportunity.
That is beautiful, and I should have had girls, I'm telling you. Mr. Ward, you're also a golfer?
Yes.
How long you been golfing?
Oh, it's been at least 25, 30 years. I own my own sanitation company. I'm kind of a self-made man, and I like to play golf. I try to go a couple times a week, maybe 3. I like to make deals on the golf course.
3 times a week, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
3 is a special number for me because that's how many times I've been golfing in my whole life. So how did this happen?
Well, Your Honor, we were on the 11th hole, and I've never, ever played before, so I was trying to get every aspect, every angle that I could.
Yes, ma'am.
And as I was watching my dad, the next thing I know, Mr. Ward comes over the hill with his weighted down golf cart, smacks me in my left leg and breaks my kneecap, and it tosses me into the sand pit where I tear my ACL and slip 3 discs.
So Mr. Ward ran you over with his golf cart and knocked you into the sand trap?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I didn't run over anybody, okay? And I was concerned when I found out what happened. I just nicked her and she fell. I mean, bottom line is it wasn't my fault.
So, Mr. Donahue, Mrs. Donahue, you all submitted an exhibit to this court that lays out the course. I want to put that up on the plasma screen and you take me through it as to exactly how this happened. Can we do that?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll cross over, sir.
Sure. That's me here with my putter. My daughter was standing up observing me putt because we were working on her short game. Now I'm lining up my putt, so I'm looking down when all of a sudden I hear my daughter yell, and I look up and I don't see my daughter, but I see Mr. Ward going screaming by on the golf cart. I run over and I see my daughter. She's in the sand trap, holding her knee, writhing in pain, and then Mr. Ward is just nowhere to be seen.
Thank you, sir. You may return to the podium.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Ward, in legal cases, people always say there are 2 sides to every story. So what is your side?
Well, my side is that I think it comes down to golf etiquette. Now, there's rules on every golf course, you know, that are posted, and then there's some rules that are just common sense.
Okay.
I've got a list of the rules right here I'd like to present to the court if I could.
Okay, Sheriff, may we get that list?
They broke every rule. They were too loud. Every time one of them made a good shot, I heard giggling, and I think that was Mr.
What's
Donahue.
not? Wait a minute.
My daughter was
Your Honor,
excited.
Hold on. If giggling is against the rules, I don't think I want to go to that court.
Well, it's
Exactly.
a private club. You know, it's
Especially if you're out there with your dad. I mean,
well,
aren't you
and I
supposed to have
understand
fun?
that, but I mean, they went beyond. I mean, giggling, yelling.
When I got excited, yes, I giggled because I finally got the movement of it right, but I wasn't overly loud or talking loud or being distracting.
Well,
in
let's
any
look at
way.
these rules. It says club rules. The first is play at a reasonable pace.
That was one that they never got
How did
right.
they break that rule?
They were playing at a turtle's pace. I mean, there was a line of golfers behind me. Even
So they had it backed up.
Yeah.
If she's a beginner, though, isn't that kind of expected? I mean, it looked like a highway when I was playing.
Yeah, well,
with the
but I
people
mean,
behind me.
that's why you don't, teach the major portion of it on the course. You do it at the driving
Your Honor,
range,
they were the only
putting
ones
green.
behind it. There was nobody else behind us. We could
No.
see they were the only ones behind us.
No, there was a bunch of
I don't know
people.
how you
We'll
get
figure that
experience.
out. So the second one is repair ball marks and replace divots. So they were tearing this golf course up.
Exactly.
Most of those divots are not mine.
She covered. I told her about the divots and I put it back.
Your
Yeah.
Honor, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody make a divot with a putter.
No, that.
Yeah, they need 2 of them.
It goes on to say, do not distract other players.
See?
Place bags and carts between green and next tee.
And
Did they do that?
No, and that was the main problem. They had clubs, their bags. I think some food.
No,
food or
no,
bags,
no,
Your
there was
Honor.
not.
Can I go up to the monitor here?
Please, because I wanna make sure I know where these bags and things are.
The golf bag was right here. I mean, it was almost like a roadblock there.
So you had a golf bag.
Right about here.
Here.
There you go.
Okay, so you got a golf bag there, and they had other stuff that kind of was around.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're trying to get over here.
Right. There's water, as you see on this side. There's a sand trap on this side.
So you really have to go either this way or that way.
That's
and you're
right.
not going in the water.
I wasn't going in the water. So I go this way, and there was room there for a cart to go around. All she had to do was step out of the way, which I thought she did.
So you may return to the podium. When you come over the hill, are you screaming anything? Are you saying anything?
You know, they knew I was coming around that way. I mean, I didn't think I had to scream or anything like that. And when she fell in, I thought that she had just slipped and fallen in, so I didn't say much. And I'm like, hey, you're going to need a wedge to get out of there, which sounds bad now, but I didn't know she...
Yeah, that was
How did you not know you
kind
hit
of
me?
ill-timed humor, wasn't it? She got hurt.
I didn't know. I was golfing with my buddy Joey. He says, hey, we better stop.
He was
I think this is
obnoxious the whole time, Your Honor. He was
ignoring.
screaming at us.
Now, Mr. Ward, I don't think I can completely let you off the hook because I drive a golf cart when I go fishing at a lake, right? I'm riding around. It seems when you take your foot off the gas, that thing almost stops, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, if you look, this was a hilly golf course, and this is the 11th hole right there. I was coming down. I had momentum. I'm a big guy. The guys I were with were big guys, so you know it wasn't going to stop easy.
Hey, you had brakes. You could have stopped. You could have said something. You
Said
didn't have to
something.
move.
Excuse
you
us.
Told me
Talk
to
to
move.
me.
There
Move your
was stuff
bag.
there. You could have told me to
Talk
move
to
it.
me, folks.
Yeah, they knew I was coming through, Your Honor. I mean, they're the ones that told me to do it.
Donahue, you have submitted $25,000 in past medical bills for your injuries. I want to understand your injuries. Will you explain that to me?
Yes, Your Honor. When Mr. Ward hit me, he initially hit me on my left leg, which shattered my kneecap. And then when I fell into the sand trap, as I fell, I twisted and it tore my ACL. And as you can see, I had to get extensive surgery. And then when I fell into the sand trap, I slipped 3 discs in my back.
You submitted this MRI of your back?
Yes, Your Honor. That is from a pre-existing condition. Sometimes the vertebrae slips out of place and it crushes my nerves. But I didn't have any trouble beforehand. I was standing up perfectly fine. I was dancing. I was hiking. But once the accident happened, it triggered it, and I cannot.
It aggravated your pre-existing condition of spondylolisthesis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're kind of haunted by this every waking moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that even a thing?
Really?
Is what a thing? A pre-existing.
Spondylolisthesis.
It's a medical condition that you affected when you hit her with your golf cart. One thing that we don't do in this courtroom is to belittle someone else's reality.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may not agree with it, but in my courtroom, you can't disrespect it. So you're asking this court for $500,000 for pain and suffering. That's a lot of money. That's not just a blown out knee.
I used to dance and I used to go hiking and I used to be able to go to my job, and I can't do that. I can't even live in my own apartment that I have because I can't even go up the stairs. I have to live at home.
She had to move back in with my wife and I, Your Honor.
Oh, she had to move back
She had to
home
move
because
back
of
home,
it.
yes, because of this injury that Mr. Ward caused, and it's just frustrating to see my young, vibrant daughter all of a sudden, have this pain and this inability to move and work on her own, live on her own. It's very frustrating, as you must know.
The worst injury to any parent is an injury to our children.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about that. Mr. Ward, you see that this has changed this young lady's life.
Yeah, I do see it. I feel bad about that. But I also hear say it's a pre-existing condition.
But it wasn't bothering me
You
beforehand.
hit somebody on the golf course. I need to see you with a little bit of heart.
Well, I've got an adult daughter too, and I know.
You're a dad too.
Yeah, and this wouldn't have happened if they'd followed golf etiquette.
To further understand golf etiquette and how it applies to this case, this court has consulted a 23-year veteran of the PGA Tour and the 2009 winner of the British Open, Stuart Sink. Matt, will you get this to Sink?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good day, Mr. Sink.
Good day, Your Honor.
It is a privilege to have you here today. We've been talking about something called golf course etiquette. What is that?
Golf is founded on respect your fellow competitor and respect the course and respect the rules of the game. The group behind you, just keep up. And you try to leave the course how you found it, and it's just a respect thing.
In this case, Mr. Ward's in the golf cart and he's coming down the path.
Yes.
What is he supposed to be thinking and looking out for as he's driving the golf cart?
Well, I think the number one thing you would probably wanting to be aware of is what is in your immediate path.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's
And
common
it
sense.
was their shop. Their shop was in my immediate
No,
path.
they weren't.
Okay, well, let's take that. Now, there's a golf bag full of clubs, partly in the path, and other stuff strewn around. What's he supposed to do as the driver of the golf cart?
If you're going so fast that you can't see that there's something in the way, you can't slow down, then you probably shouldn't be going that fast.
Which
Thank
helps.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you're an experienced golfer and you've got people ahead of you that are tearing up the course, they're taking too much time, they got their stuff everywhere,
They're
what are
loud.
you supposed to do?
That can be very frustrating, and I've been there too. Part of me agrees with what Mr. Ward is saying, but there's a way to address it. You know, it is part of the game that you're supposed to respect your fellow players, and that means keep up and keep your stuff kind of in a neat little place. And it's so I can see both sides here.
Mr. Singh, thank you so much. You really helped me in this case. Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear, and I'm ready to render my decision. Every personal injury case, the plaintiff has the burden to prove three things. You, Ms. Donahue, have to prove that Mr. Ward was wrong. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to prove Mr. Ward's wrong caused your injuries. You have to offer no further proof of your injuries. They are undisputed. You and your dad went out to have a great father-daughter day on the golf course. You all expected to go at a pretty leisurely pace. You're having fun. You're at the 11th hole. All of a sudden, Mr. Ward comes out of nowhere. You turn around, no time to get out the way. He strikes you and knocks you into the sand trap and changes your life for a long time, maybe forever. And you want him to be held responsible today. Mr. Ward, you've put up evidence that these folks simply did not honor the etiquette and the rules of the golf course. One, they were going too slow. They were being obnoxious. They put their stuff all over the course, and they did not get out of the way when they had a chance to. And so Miss Donahue is responsible for her own injuries, according to you. This case and these facts raise two principles of law. The first principle is voluntary undertaking. Under the law, if you undertake a task, the law says you shall do so non-negligently. That is, you shall act reasonably when you do the task that you have undertaken. Here, you have undertaken the task of driving around the debris and the golf bag and other things that were in the cart path. The second legal principle is the duty to keep a proper lookout. It not only applies to motor vehicles, but it applies to golf carts. If you're driving a golf cart, you have a duty to keep a lookout for hazard ahead and dangers to other people. Here, I find that you have proven that Mr. Ward not only did not take the task and do it non-negligently, and that's why he made contact with you. He also failed to keep a proper lookout. Otherwise, he would have stopped. And because you have proven that he's wrong and that his wrong caused your harm, I find in your favor, and I'm going to award you $25,000 for your past medicals, $30,000 for your future medicals, $500,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $555,000. That is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned.
Honestly, if that went any other way, I would have been so mad. Oh yeah, you were following golf etiquette, so it gave me the right to run you over. What the heck? That guy is insane. He's just grasping at straws, trying to figure out like how he can beat this case. This is insane. I clearly agree with the judge on this front. Just because they were loud or obnoxious or slow doesn't give you the right to hit someone with your car. And the expert said it himself, if you're driving that fast, you probably, if you were driving so fast that you couldn't see or stop or slow down quick enough, you probably were going too fast, right? So what do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.